Thank you for tuning in to the Ohio AgNet broadcast. I'm Matt Reese. I'm the editor for Ohio's Country Journal, joined by Dusty Sonnenberg. And today we have the fantastic Elizabeth Long with Ag Resource Management. Thanks for being with us today.
Good morning.
I think, first off, it would be just weird if we didn't talk about the weird weather we've been having out there. You don't know whether to wear short sleeves and shorts, or parka, or dress for the wind or the snow or the rain. It's been unbelievable. Dusty, how's the weather been in Northwest Ohio?
Well, you probably can't see outside the window, but it's raining here right now, and raining pretty hard. I think the weatherman this morning said we're supposed to get over 1.25 inches of rain today. So it's been like you described. 1 minute it's been sunny and beautiful, and the next minute you think you're in, northern Minnesota. So who knows what we're going to get before it's all said and done.
Well, in Fairfield County, we hit the low 70s last week, and then they're talking for more snow and cold coming. And we definitely have caught up on moisture. A lot of places around the state had gotten very dry in the fall, to the point where there were some, initial concerns about ground moisture heading into spring. But I think most of the state is pretty well caught up. We've been pretty saturated here, and this up and down weather has been crazy. But it does sound like we're in store for a little bit more winter yet. And Elizabeth has some interesting weather concerns. You're training with running for an event coming up. How have you been able to manage all these winter weather ups and downs?
Oh, it's been a challenge. So I am training for, it's called the Buck 50, and it's a race in Ross County. And it's at the end of April. So perfect timing, right?
Right.
Fields, right? I'm going to be praying for dry weather, like all of my farmers, right? That weekend. So for those that are listening, right? Training has been challenging. I ran on Thursday and it was 70 degrees and it was gorgeous. And I was in shorts and a long sleeve. And then on Saturday, I had to run 7 miles. And as I was headed north, I had taken my jacket off and was like, I'll just leave my jacket in the ditch. And then I turned west, and then I'm like, oh, never mind. I'm just going to go ahead and put that jacket right back on and my gloves. And was glad that I had my ears covered because I was going right into the wind. And I will tell you, wind resistance is a real thing. Mm-hmm. Even if you're going 13 miles or minute miles, but hey, it's the mileage, right? Not the speed.
Right. Well, and that's a really interesting race that has a good cause, right?
It is, yeah. So all the money stays local to Ross County. And this is my second time doing it. And it's a 150-mile relay race. So there's a group of us there's 10 of us in our team, right? And our team will get together. And I know no one. My sister and I are on the same team, and that's it. So there are 8 other people that we've never met and 2 van drivers. And what we'll do is we'll get down there on Friday, the last weekend of April, and we have 24 hours to complete 150 miles between the 10 of us. And we have 3 different legs that we have to run. All the funds stay local to Ross County. And it's really about living a drug-free life. And the runners get to kind of feel what it feels like to go through detoxing. And the community, the community comes together. The year that I did it in like 18 or 19, it was amazing because we were running at like 3 a.m. and this bicyclist, motorcyclist, biker. There we go. He like rolled up beside us and was like, hey, you're by yourself at 3 a.m. on a road you've never been on, right? And he's like, I just want to check on you. Is there anything you need? I've got some water in my bag. Can I get you anything? And you're just trugging along and going at it. And it's a really fantastic organization. I would strongly, even if you're not a runner, look up the Buck 50 and the cause that they do, because like I said, all the money stays local to Ross County.
I'm pretty sure Dusty's in for a 15-miler, right, Dusty?
I'm good.
Come join us. I need a buddy runner.
Yeah, that'd be good. And we're going to talk about something even more exciting than road races, and that is crop insurance today.
Yes.
There's some big deadlines coming up here in the next few days and coming weeks that farmers need to consider around the state. And that's a big part of what you guys are working with right now, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Give us a little preview of what we're talking about.
Sure. So the deadline for crop insurance is heading up very quickly. So March 15th, so 16 days from today, in the crop insurance deadline. So it's a great time to have that conversation about what your plans are for crop insurance. Are you going to make any changes to it? And with some changes that RMA came out with this year for double crop beans in the northern part of Ohio, it's definitely something to talk about.
Mm-hmm. And Dusty, we've got some audio coming up too in the podcast. You want to give us an overview?
Sure do. A lot of interesting things coming up. First off, Joel Panorwood had a chance to catch up with Doug Mollenkopf. Now, Doug farms over by East Palestine, Ohio, and saw firsthand the impact from that train derailment and subsequent burning off of the materials. He is located to the north of the fire, so described. So they didn't have much threat from the water, but all the smoke came right over their farm and over his cattle herd. So an interesting conversation with Doug that Joel had, and really gives sort of a good insight on what folks over there are going through. I also had a chance to catch up with John Linder and Tadd Nicholson. A lot of folks know Tadd as the executive director of the Ohio Corn and Wheat Growers Association. John Linder, of course, past president of the National Corn Growers Association. A lot of buzz in the media right now about the proposed Mexican ban on U.S. GMO corn and issues going on with that. And actually, as this podcast comes out, they're going to have a call to action that's being issued, having farmers all across the country really contact their legislators to emphasize the importance of this event. Mexico, the #1 importer of U.S. corn. And so a lot lays at stake. We'll have all the details coming up later in the podcast.
And all that will be in Digital Dale today and also at ocj.com. So be sure to check that out. It'll be in the link provided, which will be either in the comments up, or the comments would be down here, and the description would be up there. So be sure to look for that on this post, and you can click right on that link to listen to the podcast. Lots of good stuff coming up. And we've got much more from Elizabeth talking about what to be looking for in terms of crop insurance, and those deadlines are coming soon. So be sure to check that out. Thanks for tuning in to the Ohio AgNet podcast.